Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to ARCHIDEX Online 2020. I hope everyone is staying safe and healthy as the global pandemic is still running wild out there. My name is Xianwei, a MASA representative, and I'll be your moderator for today. Firstly, I would like to thank ARCHIDEX 2020 for giving MASA an opportunity to conduct this session. It is our pleasure to have this collaboration with ARCHIDEX. Before we begin, I would like to let everyone know that we might have a little delay and lagging on the internet today, but nevertheless, I hope everyone still enjoy the session today. For those who have no clue what MASA is, I hope you can lend me your ear as I explain further. The word MASA stands for Malaysia Architecture Students Alliance, and it is a non-profit student committee operating directly under Pertubuhan Arkitek Malaysia, or PAM, consisting of student representatives from all architecture institutes in Malaysia. It is a platform where Malaysian architecture students join forces to learn and share with appreciation of the past, generating sustainable living in the present, and bringing unlimited possibilities to the future. Our mission is to develop an effective platform and network between Malaysia architecture students and professionals. We also serve as liaisons between students and PAM. We represent the voices from architecture students. This is what we are. So for today, we have two special guests. Proudly present to you the chairman of PAM Education Committee, Architect Arjanta Aziz, and the one who will be sharing his experience and ideas on a very, very interesting topic that I believe everyone will be looking forward to, the one and only Architect Mike Boon. To begin with, let us welcome Architect Arjanta Aziz to say a few words. Hello, Architect
Hi.
Arjanta. Hello, how are you?
Hi, Zhenwei. I'm fine. Hello. Thank you so much, Zhenwei, for your introduction. Welcome back, all the students, all the viewers, to the ARCHIDEX Fast Forward Beyond the Studio. And today is the second series on the 14th of October 2020. Well, featuring the October 2020, the World Architecture Month. I can consider that a truly ARCHIDEX Online Digital Month. Well, I just want to say apologies in advance if they say that the coverage is a bit lagging because my area quite slow, and then hopefully everything is going to be smooth. But just in case I'm lagging or missing on action, maybe perhaps the MCs and we will support this. Well, okay, dear viewers, dear students especially. So I hope everybody stay put, relax. I believe that everybody had a dinner already, and just relax, enjoy the show, because through MASA and also organized by ARCHIDEX CIS, thank you so much in advance. And on behalf of PAM Education Committee and also Acacia Committee Architectural Education, ACAI, I would like to say thank you so much to all the team behind the scenes there to organize our second series today, where such a beautiful topic. And then I believe everybody know Architect Mike Boon, my good friends, my best buddy, and I consider is an idol and mentor for all of us, especially for the young architects. Then can you share the background of the video for a while, so that I would like to showcase and then read about Mike Boon. Okay, so viewers, students, Architect Mike Boon, I can call him as a dancer architect, very charming, cheerful, a lot of positive chi. He's graduated from the University of Western Australia in 1989. His firm, Architect JFN Sdn Bhd, has constantly been assessing the architect's role in our society. Architect Mike believes that architects have the responsibility to contribute positively. So when we invite him to give a talk today, I personally call him that he's so happy and pleasure to share his experience to all of you students. But Architect Mike said he had no idea on how to engage the audience in the virtual room like this. So he thought if he knew what the participants wanted for hear from him, the knowledge may help to caption their interests. Hence, the organizer sent out requests to collect all the topics for him to structure his sharing section tonight, and he will be responding to a wide range of personal experiences from his travel, his design, his practice, his client's relationship, and also his life in general. So, my dear students, viewers, sit back, relax, with positive mindset, enjoy his sharing session. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop the questions in the comment or chat section on the screen, and we will try our best to answer during the Q&A session at the end of today's talk. Well, are you ready? Without further ado, let's welcome my good friend, Architect Mike Boon. Hi, Mike.
Hi,
Good
thank
evening.
you, Adrenta, for the introduction. I have to push my nose back a little bit. It's touching the screen.
Thank you so much, Architect Mike. It's a pleasure, it's an honor, and then spending time with us tonight, sharing your session, especially, we're talking about an idea. I believe everything begins with an idea, and also an idea is the salvation by imagination. So without further ado, no idea. Architect Mike Boon, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Can we get the screen on? Now, before I start, I think everybody is having a tiring and hard day. Let's do a few minutes of breathing exercise. Follow me. When I say in, you breathe in through your nose. When I say out, you breathe out slowly through your mouth.
Lovely.
And hopefully that will calm us down.
Let's do it. Wow, I feel fresh, Mike.
Here we are, 3 little mice. When Papa talk, the kids can watch and wait and watch. I used to have 30 over staff or 30 over colleagues in my practice 25 years ago. Now down to 3 plus one office manager and my part-time ex-girlfriend, now my wife. So hopefully you may hear from them one day or later. So just a bit quick introduction. From the questions that I received, I gathered them into 3 categories that I'm going to talk about: design, practice, and give some opinions later on. Now, I start with this quote from Alvar Aalto. He said that architecture art cannot be created in an office-like environment. So I show you how I create architecture not in an office environment from my old house that I built in 1995, 25 years ago. The house is open, flexible, adapt to anything, adapt to any changes, and which is now our office. I moved out, I moved to a new house, so I use it as an office. And it's a place where we really appreciate and feel the sun, wind, and water. It's an office so it has no air conditioning. And I have to practice what I preach. And these are my kids when they're still young and some students. And the taller ones standing are architects now. To begin with, I want to talk about my mentor or architects that I look up and then I learn from them. I'll start with 2 persons. One is Alvar Aalto. I think most people have heard of him. The other one probably may or may not is Liu Chun-soo. Alvar Aalto is a Finnish architect. Liu Chun-soo is a South Korean architect. One is East, one is West. So instead of talking about them, I I took a pilgrimage and actually go and try to talk to the Alva author, not from the grave, but through his building. And then I have the opportunity and lucky enough to spend a lot of time with Mr. Liu Chun-Su, because he's 74 years old now. So I took a pilgrimage to Alto's building. I'm going to show you just too quickly and say what I learned or what I gathered from that trip. The house and studio are very famous. It's a national monument. It's set in a suburb in Helsinki by a lake in this sort of neighborhood. As you walk down the street, the building on the right is his house that he built in 1937. You go around to the back. This is a famous shot that you see many, many years ago, and it still looks exactly the same today. But what intrigues me before going in is details like this, where west meets east. And actually, if you look carefully and really look at Alto's work, these pictures actually says a lot. It's a lot in a reference made to Japanese architecture. I will not elaborate, you can read up. And from there, I realized that architecture is in the details. It's details that make architecture. Then also, I realized how he made architecture by understanding the inherent qualities of materials and how to put them together. And I walk further down. It's just not far away in the same neighborhood. He built his studio in 1955, about 30 years later. If you walk down the side street and look on the walls, you can gather a collage of details. And all these details are very relevant today, and they're still very relevant. And if you go around to the back, and I realized that simplicity can also be theatrical. It is like amphitheater design for his landscape, and he used it to give talk and lectures. And also, when you look carefully, decoration doesn't have to be loud. It just fit in. Then the next shot, I'm going to tell you behind the windows. If you sit down, you look out the windows, it's the lights that fill up that space. It's so calming and it's so relaxing, where he had his studio upstairs. And another thing about Alto is about his furniture design. He designed everything. He gone through stack and stack of sketches. And I particularly find his detailing intriguing. And it works on functions and really understand the functions of how everything's work, and actually put a lot of thinking and make it special, and it relates to and make it very convenient for people who use it. For example, a drawer like this that can open up on one end, and if you go to the other side of the room, I'm taking this picture from the kitchen. If you go to the dining room behind this wall, you can open the toilet from the other side. So the toilets are open from both sides. And the cabinet walls up there, they can open on both sides also. It's something very practical, right? So that's Alva Auto. So for me, yes,
so you're talking about your mentor now, right? So let's talk about your topic now, your idea, your practice. You know, coming back what you learned from them.
You want to get me out of this room so soon? I still haven't talked about my friend Liu Chun-Su.
Yes, there's one mentor here. Yeah.
Yes, Real is really a guy that I was so privileged to meet. We connect because by chance he was invited by the government to design our indoor stadium in Kuching.
Right.
So he is the man who failed to be an artist. He always wanted to be an artist. He can't get into university. He was depressed. And actually, he went to the mountain, go into the temple he became a monk for 2 years. And imagine, he is an artist, became a monk, and did sketches like this. It's kind of, how do you understand a Buddhist monk draw naked women? I think it's all in the mindset. And that actually intrigues me. So after he became a monk 2 years, he decided to do architecture. And because of that, because of his religious thinking, he's not religious as Buddhist, but I think it's more on the philosophy. He taught me Buddhism is about philosophy, about life. So that's where I learned a lot from him about life. So I'll just tell you a story about Korean kite, because students are very worried about making changes to the design and making changes to what they already have, because they always think they're running out of time. When Rio entered the competition for the World Cup Stadium in 2002, right? He completed his design in the office, and he was in the plane to Paris to give a talk in a conference. But when he was in the plane flying up there, he saw a kite, a Korean traditional kite. Suddenly, he decided to change his design completely. And he sketched the design on the way in the plane on the way to Paris, and he won the competition because of that. Right? Then that was built. And if I go back, you will notice that he sketched a lot, and he works from design to detail, from A to Z until the building is completed. It's just like Alvar Aalto. So Alvar Aalto is West Mid East, and Rio is East Mid West. It's very thinking. His thinking is very Eastern, traditional, but the outcome is very Western in a way, by understanding technology, understanding material, understanding construction, and understanding practicalities, right? So from the indoor stadium, I realized that he's not building a building, but the building functions go beyond a stadium. When World Cup finished, the building actually became a community hub. It's linked to a subway. It appealed to all ages. All ages. It's got departmental store. It's got function hall, etc., etc. So it is a real place for the local community. Is very well used, and you only see this in Korea, right? Sunbath with an umbrella on. Now, then what I learned from that is doing less for more. And I was very unfortunate to visit him a few times in Korea. He brought me to his studio, and he mentored me what life is about, and especially life as an architect. Have fun. And this is a place called Panya. It's a mountain resort, 200. It's a mountain reserve, 200 kilometers away from Seoul. And the story starts from this river, where he bought a farmhouse with an owner. He's buried in the round-shaped tomb in front or behind the house, and that is his friend. He's usually alone with his old friend. And this is the setting where he meticulously sketched out and gave instruction to visitors, whoever visit his house, if he's not around. He kept his key underneath the carpet, the floor mat. That's the house in summer, another view of it. And this is the place. This is where life is all about. The picture says it all. This is in autumn, the first time I went, and the next time I went is in summer, and we're really having fun. I mean, who would show two naked body, or all naked body in front in the public? That's me. So that's real. I have to follow him. Then, and real, this is his studio. He works here. This is in the mountain. This is the place of his work, and where he rests, and where he plays. He's fun. He's very cheeky. He's got all sorts of tricks. He's very good with catapults, and he's like a child. That's what I learned about his life. And he wrote these 4 words. You can read for yourself. It says it all. So these are the 2 persons that actually influenced me a lot. But if you notice that I show you, they are all small buildings, very well detailed and considered. So it's the sort of architecture that I'm doing. So that is about, yeah.
So Mike, it seems that this is your idol, your mentor. You've been inspired from their works, and then you went there, you experienced it. Okay, so I believe this is a begin with your creation of your idea. And then how about the question about, which is the most influence for your works? So now can you showcase your works? Because the student might have this problem about and when talking about detailings, talking about the forms, talking about the functions, they start to be confused. Is it form full of function, function full of form? Can you explain further to our viewers tonight?
Yeah, I will be disappointed if the student don't ask question about form and function. Function follows form, right?
Right.
So that is something that I think we need to know and understand. It's a basic. It's architecture 101, right? But I think it goes beyond that. I will not go into a theoretical discussion of this, but let me show you how I think. Architecture is more than form and functions. It's about culture, it's about everything, right? But if we look at practicality, since the question asked about form and function, what if we look at how I do a project from what I learned from the two mentors by looking at constructions, materials, and structures. But before I do that, to answer the form and function question, I want to show this building. I don't know anybody has seen this before. It's by Italian architect for a cabin built in 1965. When I was 1 year old. Pay attention to the staggering windows, small windows on the right, yeah? And this is the plan. Very simple plan for cabin that can fit many people, but you don't see the bedroom. The bedroom is number 7. That is a section of the bedroom.
Oh.
Right? And that is the picture of the bedroom and not the windows from the outside. I think this picture says it all.
Yeah.
So, but what I do, just what I spoke about, form follows structure, materials, and construction. Function to me is a given. So this project is a showroom for Toyota. If Toyota has a standard requirement for the showroom, but we challenge the standard and then we want to do something very different. It gone through a lot of resistance, but actually we eventually managed to do something that's totally different. These pictures actually captures it very well, right? I mean, I would not explain the picture. This is looking from the river, but I'll explain to you how the form is being derived by not thinking about the form. It started from structures. So I designed a structure that's lightweight, minimum weightage on steel caused by wearing it, a ton by how many 1,000 ringgits, yeah? So you want to do steel structure, you want it as light as possible. So by that, if I can do a building with a curve with one truss section, it'll be quite interesting. See? So I wrap it with skin, slot it in, and even though the building is kind of have a curve, it's the same truss that's been used. So that ends up with a building like this. But as I said, I don't think about form, but I think about space and light. And I think about materials, how we put them together. And details are used, and details are actually not kind of struggling to make it, and it just happened. If you look at the top right hand corner, the collar to the sprinkler head actually is a leftover piping for aircon. Aircon pipe will have insulation, so they have a lot of off-cut. So I asked them to just cut it, slot it in, it become a collar, it's free. Right? So everything is detailed with a reason. Then I think that is just a quick demonstration. I've done building by not thinking about material constructions. Yeah. So this is just an example.
So what's your favorite, the most successful architecture you've been working on?
What You're asking for trouble. You're asking for trouble, Rajenta. I'm giving this talk for free, so I want to do my free commercial. So I have to advertise myself a little bit. So for any architects, you do building. Every building that we do, we are serious about it. So then if you get recognition of what you're doing, I think there's something in the work, right? So I'm going to show you my award-winning project, but I'm not going to talk about it. You can Google it, or you can watch my other videos, and they are in there. I'm not going to repeat what I presented before. So this is my first award in 1998.
Yeah,
I spent 2 hours sketching this. My partner detailed it up, and we won an award. And the prices pay for first class airfare and live in the suite in Sri Lanka for my first Acacia event. Ever since then, I was kind of tied up with Acacia. And And I started doing conservation without knowing anything about conservation. And this is my first attempt as one local international awards. And because of that, that brought me a lot more. Then, like any architects, you do your own house. So this house has got a lot of stories, yeah? So I'm sitting inside of this house at the moment, giving you this talk.
Oh,
and with
okay.
that house, the details that we develop, I use it to renovate another house. Then I tested the same detail in public buildings and how a police station would look not like a police station. Yeah. Then I also show that architects can plan. So this is a planning exercise where it's a kind of a troubled township where we have to revive it, and now it's thriving. And this one won an award. It came as a big surprise because the planner employed by us as a planner of record submitted this to the Planning Institute's award without us knowing about it, and was not acknowledged. I learned about it when he was interviewed in the newspaper. But I was very proud, because at least Architects Planning Scheme won a planning award submitted by a planner. Anyway,
Right.
I'm not going to go more, but these two, it took 10 years of my life. These two projects on one side. I think log into the YouTube. That is the same YouTube video that you just played, Adrianta. If you're interested, this is a 20 minutes presentation. And this presentation helps to bring me to many countries. I think a lot of people saw me dancing. They expect me to dance in their country to give a talk, but I never. But from there, this is what we were really doing, spending a lot of time doing this CSR, social engagement work, and on community engagement to promote heritage awareness. Yeah. So also log into this public design lecture series by Pam Sarawak chapter. Check the YouTube. And Pam Sarawak chapter has a very good series of talk every Friday, especially this month. Log it in.
Right.
Now, I think that is my showing off part, Lawa, a little bit. Now, free commercial is over. Let's get to something serious.
I mean, again, yeah, Mike, yeah, because for me as an architect as well, when I saw all your works, it's been inspiring us, especially all the students, and then I can sense the satisfaction value from your side. And then you've been talking about your mentor, your ideas before that. You have two mentor, Alto and Chusung, and then you adapt it, and then you provide. You've been winning a lot of awards and so on. But again, as an architect, you serve for society. Can you just share a bit? How you can serve your relationship with your clients, perhaps. How you can experience a situation with your client if they want to change their mind and working progressively. How can you share with us now the situation you sharing with your works with your clients?
You asked me to play with fire, Adrenta.
Yeah, let's just spark it.
See, you're asking to talk about troubled relationship. I only have troubled relationship with girls, but also a troubled relationship with clients. Many. I'm a notorious architect, as famous, right? Because I'm very serious with my work, but I rather not to talk about it in the direct way because I don't like to do kind of character assassination, which is not fair. Maybe let me share it with you in a very kind of situation that lead you nowhere. You know that it's going to be not good in the outcome, and what do I do? But there's a question here. You say, do I ever give up, right? The answer is no. That's why I'm still here. So let's look at this because I think I have 20 minutes to go, I think. These shophouses in the Heritage District was burned down just before Christmas, 10 years ago, 11 years ago. I call it architecture for the record because as the work progressed, I realized that I'm being used because they're not appreciating the work at architecture. They just want to get this thing done because they don't know how to get approval and how to reconstruct this thing. So I had to present this personally to the chief minister and get approval for them. And anyway, that is right in the city center. I went to dug the record and found the original survey plan, and I overlay the shophouse reconstruction plan over it and give them a lot more floor space because one of the big causes of this disaster is illegal extension. All the shophouses almost cover up all the courtyards. Yeah, when the fire broke, it's very difficult to contain. So I proved to them that you still can get the quality of space, retain the courtyard by giving them more spaces that what they've lost in the fire. Anyway, having cut the story short, this is what I did. I mean, very straightforward. Then there's the outcome. Then to do the elevation for conservationists, I don't believe in replica. If you smash a Qing flower jar, you go and stick it up back on and put to auction, it's got no value, right? So I was looking hard on the influences of the architecture of shophouses in that area, and this one strikes me. And I think we have a lot to learn from the craftsmen in the old days. These are buildings done with architects. It responds to the environment and the weather condition very well. I think as an architect, you can see, right? So how do I contemporarize this? I do not replicate those shophouses because there are still quite a lot of them around. So it's not necessary. But how do I want to tell a story or show an example of how to approach this in this situation? And that is my tag. I'm presenting a solution by reinterpreting the past for the future. And that's the outcome from the shophouses burned into a big hall and then reconstructing it. So people are interested. So I tag them there before the building is being wrecked. So I did this shop front doors because opposite these shophouses was vegetable market that's demolished. When I was young, the vegetable markets have a lot of cracks, right? That stacks up. The timber cracks that stacks up. It kind of reminds me, kind of recreation of the imagery. So this thing is not about form function anymore. It's about memories, yeah. Then people always speak through. It's interesting. People are curious when they see lubang everywhere, you know. So they peek through. This is what you see from inside. It's a veil. It's not naked. It's sexy, right? So it's kind of light quality with the restored courtyard. Then this is my favorite shot. The courtyard actually has a kind of environmental control function. It's got a glass to stop water from coming in. You got louvers on top to have the sun, to stop the sun from shining on it directly. And you see the steps stick hanging out from the wall. That one actually allowed them to risk their life to go up to the rooftop. So this is about shadows, place of light. Then what happens if you don't have enough lights? This reminds me, we appreciate what we have when we lose it. Think about that. So the whole agenda of doing this is try to convince the public and the shop owners and the government that they should have a backland. And if the building was done so that the back can be cut off, right, and demolished and create a backland, it become a double frontage. So as an architect doing a project, if you have a choice in a situation like this, you have to take up the role of activist. You have to kind of consider activism as your social role. A reformer also, a visionaries other than just an architect. That's what I thought we should be doing. So
wonderful.
Do I still have time?
Yeah, you still got the time. But again, after all your talk at the beginning, and then it reflects me that you try to say to all the students here, the ideology is like breathing, you know, you never smell your own task, you know, it's like the beginning session is now you breathe in, breathe out. This is what we call it, the ideology. But perhaps, can you share with us now, because now we're having this new normal, the pandemic issue, you know, some of us saying that, you know, it has been a limitation, challenges. Do you mind that you can share with me or with all the students here, how you facing this MCO, this pandemic situation now, Mike?
This is the question that I will expect also. Hang on, let me get my slide back on.
Okay, because as you know that students nowadays, I heard that many university, IPTA, IPTS, they're still studying from home, working from home. I believe only final year students have to be physical contact. But we just wonder, maybe perhaps you can share with all the students, what is the challenges from our side as an architect during COVID-19 pandemic, and how you overcome your challenge.
I'm not going to talk about the pandemic and problem of pandemic, how it affects architects, because they're all over social medias, everywhere people talk about it. So everybody have their own problems, right?
Right.
But I think situation like this, especially during economic now downturns when economy is in trouble, is always an opportunity for me. This is my third time after I graduated to go through kind of economic situation caused by various reasons. Yeah. So I think during the pandemic, MCO period is my best time in my architecture career.
Wow.
And it gave me time to really sit down and to calm down and think. And I can afford to do nothing, but I get bored after 3 days. I thought I can relax and do nothing. I get really bored after 3 days. So I've gone through 2 sketchbook. And I work with my son, David, at home a lot. And we spend clock in more hours than we normally do in the office. We have no projects. So what we do, we dream up things from what I've shown you. We try to say, okay, if there is a situation now, since we don't have any job, why don't we do something that maybe one day it'll be useful to people who may find it useful. So we continue to do what I know best, right? That's to design things, to dream up things. So one of the things is to look at how to do the cheapest, possibly flexible, lightweight, affordable modular houses. A lot of people try to do this, attempt this, right? It come with all sort of effect. But we put this in the open source. Actually, we have friends who are actually using it to improve the social housing they're doing now, right? But we are not architects. We just give them this, give them the idea. It's fine. So this is good for the people. So we actually took the standard components that you can buy off the shelf and really look at the dimension and lay it out and say, how can we do a building that is as near zero waste as possible? So there's no wastages. So we model it in 3D. And the outcome is a third-year student design, no offense, or maybe first year nowadays with the quality of the student doing it. But it has a lot of virtue in it, the flexibility, the compactness, and it's very, very light. It's it's about 14 ton. The whole building is a 14, 15 ton. That means if I go to some area, I can do it without piling, right? So it is rethinking about how to build, but not thinking about form and architecture, but just thinking about what you can contribute and give to people. Just a different way of doing things. And with that, after we finished that one, only took us a few days, right? So we thought, what if we do this to our beach house? Every architect, I thought every architect would like to have a beach house in a day in their life, right? So we wanted to do a beach house. So we used the same idea to do a very simple beach house. So basically, it's just 2 trusses, and this beach, beach house is not in area that is easily accessible. So you have to think about transportation. There's limitation with a truck that you can bring materials, right? So it challenges us to think about transportation, that how it influences modular housing, modular construction. And so we did this, put 2 trusses very simply on the existing ground, put a fork up quickly and lightweight frame structure and crack it over with a grill as a kind of security grill on the bottom as to close it as a semi-enclosed space. And this is what we get. And from inside, it's just very simple material that we can get off the shelf. And again, light and shadow is always something that I enjoy. It's always a recurring theme. And after lightweight, we get bored because after a few more days, we've got nothing else to do. It's 3 months, bruh. So we thought, what if we use container? People got crazy about container. So we get to know people who can help us, tell us about the problem of building with containers. Also, we experimented with containers. What happens if we make it 2 stories? What happens if we have more fun? And then we have a series of container beach houses. Actually, we have 14 series, 14 versions. I'm not going to show them all. But eventually, we managed to build one. And this one is a CSR project. And we actually gave this to the local council. The guy at the bottom middle, guy with a black white is the mayor. And he bought the idea and then funded it. And then the mural was designed by an intern at that time, Esther Wong from Taylor's. And it's a community work. and we have JCI come in to do the painting. So it's kind of nice. It's been put up outside of the primary school. Now I think they're going to use this as a prototype for all the bus stops, other bus stops for free school buses that the state governments will provide. So we're creating things for ourselves, but no money.
Okay. That's wonderful.
So that's how I spend my MCO, other than eating, sleeping.
Right. Wonderful. But I heard that your son David and one of my graduate architects, and now she's already a professional architect, have done one CSR work, if I'm not mistaken. And perhaps that I will inform President of MASA, Ms. Howie, to invite them for the next MASA online talk. Yeah, perhaps to do that. So wonderful. I mean, yeah, Architect Mike, this is what we call it. In architecture, the idea is degenerated. Design allows a more direct and pleasurable route. This is what I can foresee, that I know yourself. You as a truly charming, happy, positive mindset. But I know you are very serious of your work. You are very strict. But for the students, I think tonight you have learned something here. And perhaps what's your opinion, the next opinion about what is the best advice, especially for the fresh architectural graduates? Mike.
This is that question, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know what to give, but I tell you what I would like to do, what at that time I wanted to do when I first graduated. I was a poor student when I was in Australia. When the university organized a study tour to Europe, I don't have money to go. I have to work in a restaurant during holiday to pay for my fee the next term. At that time, we still can afford to pay because the fee is not that high. So my dream after I graduated was to backpack in Europe, to travel. And I want to go island hoppings in Italy and Greece. To sketch and to take pictures and to date the beautiful young Italian or Greek woman, have red wine, cheese, olive, and freshly made bread. Until I get sick of it. And my ex-girlfriend, my wife, sitting next to me, I'm going to get my ear pulled very long tonight. But anyway, that's true. And it never realized. By situation, I had to come back, and then I never left. As I was with this company ever since. So and until about 10 years ago, I decided to look at, after I spent so much time with Rio, to look at life in a different way. So I started to travel, and as I travel, I realized that I can do better work, and I learned a lot more. Travel is not just to go and enjoy food and show off on Instagram. I don't have Instagram account. I don't have Facebook account. I don't have all those, right? I only use WhatsApp because I've got no choice, right? Yeah. But absorbing is like a sponge. Now, when I come back, I still don't have no idea what I need to do. But when I'm desperate, I would kind of recall my travel. There's always an answer in there some way, somehow, right? So I only have one piece of advice, because you cannot advise people. Everybody have the needs and wants and situations are different. But always think about this. How can you make a difference and make other people's life better? And other people are happy, you are happy. But it's no fun to work with me because I scold people all the time, including my client. But that's me, right?
Right, that's you.
So I'm not going to show you more. I think we should take some questions. Since you proposed to invite David and Hui, they are here with me actually. Maybe they have some quick advice.
Yeah, just a quick one.
And then the next project I want to show actually is another MCO project, but it took 3 years, and then during MCO it just happened, the timing is right. We get it done. We just tender it, But I'm not going to show it today. Let them show it to you in their session, right? So maybe do you want to talk to them?
I'm not sure. Is it okay with them?
Oh, yeah, sure. Who do you want first, the boy or the girl?
Both of them. Maybe side by side. Both of them.
Maybe I would
just a quick one.
Okay, I will unplug my earphone so that they can speak through the phone. Come on.
Maybe Mike, you can bring us around to your house, because I've been to your house before, and then maybe we can, yeah. Hi.
Let you talk to them first.
Okay. Hi, Gaga. Yes. Just a quick one, Gaga, and also David. Yeah, because it's a very interesting that what you have done, and I read through under the PAM Sarawak chapter also, and under your society works. So perhaps can you share with just a very precise explanation from just a teaser for all the students here. Explain about the project that you have done. Is it okay?
Sure.
Sure.
It came out from an opportunity in our observation throughout the MCO. Our response, thinking of what are our responsibilities and what we can do to contribute to the society. So it's a very simple installation at a park in Kuching. So for the details, we'll wait to the next time.
yeah. I think that's a teaser from both of you, because I truly wanted to call up for your Masa Online, the next one, because for me, I always believe architecture is about helping society. That what both of you have done contribute to society, I think is good for students to explore and know more about your progress. Perhaps David, maybe you just a very precise explanation. What make you working on this project during MCO, after MCO? What make you feel now as a fresh graduates architects, young architects? Because I have to say that all the viewers, the students they are young architects. They are future architects. So how you feel about it, David?
I think, well, to be honest, it was really because we had really nothing to do. And then we were we were looking for something to do, and we were looking around in Kuching. Here's another. We were looking at spaces that are right in the middle of the city, but they are sort of like hidden gems. People don't actually know where they are, even though it's just right there. And we were looking at looking at
Kenyan?
Oh yeah, that's Kenyan. That's that. Mike wouldn't show you, so we have to show it to you eventually. And the other one that we were still keeping under covers until next time. That one is
Actually, it's started from a very private project, and we brought public to become a public project, and eventually we pitched the idea to the city hall, the mayor, and he likes it, and then we also get the support of the minister. Now it become our office project, and we're doing a urban regeneration. It's a program, so we just tender the two jobs.
See, it's a good topic. It's a good topic today, because your topic is a big topic there. No idea, with a big question mark. But again, all of you have proven that you have contributed something, especially for society, within your architecture. Very well. So it's a promise, David? Okay, it's a promise, We're gonna call you for coming November. So now, Architect Mike, I saw there's a few questions here. Maybe I shall begin with the question from Miss Angie Tam. What is your advice for aspiring architect? What is your advice for aspiring architect? She's asking this to aspiring architect. So what is your advice?
To be an aspiring architect?
Yeah. Yes.
Dream a lot.
Dream a lot. Yes. I agree with you. Yes. If I can support,
Dream of anything.
Correct.
Dream of anything that you.
I agree with you, Mike, because I always respond to all the students, maybe to the client as well. All of architects here, we are dream makers, because we make people's dream come true. That's I can echo what Mike said, that just keep dreaming, big dream. Okay. The next question is from Dini Haswani. Mike, are you ready? Hi, Architect Mike Boon. A question for you now is two questions here. Question number one. From your personal view, what are the traits needed to be a great architect? I repeat, yeah, to be a great architect, what are the traits?
I don't think, I never think of myself will be a great architect, so I don't know. I mean, I never imagined to myself to be a star architect, or like Zaha Hadid, Norman Foster. I never. I just want to do what I like to do, and what is relevant to me, and to the society and community who gave me, and what I received from them to contribute back to them. Really, and this is from Buddhism. It's very Buddhist in thinking, but I tell you, I don't want to die. I don't want to die like a Buddhist. I don't want to die as like a Christian, because at least the sing, they don't burn joystick. I got allergy.
I mean, to support your answer to Dini Hazwani, is about passion. Yeah, it's passionate. So it's not to find out you to be great architect or just to be a good architect. My personal view to support Mike's is just be an healthy and happy architects. Second question from Dini Hazwani as well. I understand that to be an architect, not only to have creativity skills, but also as a problem solving skills, as a problem solver. Do you mind sharing the tips on how you always be a mind sharp type of an architect? Wow. A mind sharp of architect.
When I dream, I'm almost in a sleeping state most of the time. Right? I don't know how sharp. I don't think I'm that sharp. And I don't think I'm creative at all, because I dream all the time. But I think the other part of it, what was it? See, I can't remember. I'm dreaming. Problem solving is important. Because, like I say, I have no idea in this talk. I really start with no idea. I really have no idea. So when someone asks me to do something, I always start with no idea. But if you already have an idea before someone asks you to do something, it's very dangerous.
Yeah.
That becomes very egotistic. It's about yourself, not who you want, not the person or the society, whoever who need your help to realize the dream. It's about you, not them. So as an architect, it should be them, not us. So using our skill, how we train and experience and travel, and use those experiences to help to solve problems, to put jigsaw puzzle together for other people to serve their needs. I think that's important.
Right. I can see from the screen here a lot of students and viewers. They say that a very great touch from Architect Mike, and they're very inspiring. They love your design modular idea, and they say now they start to say that, wow, we need to become an architect to contribute back to society. You see, with the topic of no idea, giving an idea for all of us tonight. Well, okay, actually, maybe sorry, say again.
Can I have a quick word for students, because they're still students? Yeah. I think as a student, you're going to education system. There's no good system, right? But their systems are more open. They are more, there's some systems are more open. I just had a conversation with a good friend of mine, a lecturer, Chi Kyung from UCSI. And his interests me because a lot of the studio work and the teaching work are directly related to a specific community or a site, a real site. And the students' work that they're doing, either in recording or in writings or writing a thesis, will contribute to that site. Eventually, there's a connection between university and the society and the new community. So whatever they're doing is not just theoretical or for academic reasons. So whatever academic actually are contributing positively to society eventually, right? So it's outreaching. So I really admire and respect them for having the heart of ways of doing education in a different way. it's not a free promotion, but I think it's not a advertisement for them. But this is how I felt for students, because I've seen a lot of exhibitions and competitions. It upsets me when I look at buildings like objects plopped in the middle, and then when you look at the presentation, they started with site analysis, contact analysis, etc. But when they design, those are just tick the boxes to get marks from the lecturers so that they can move on and do whatever they want. It's totally irrelevant, right? So that is my observation. Yeah.
Good. I'm sorry, Mike. The next question is not for you, so you can be excused, because David got secret admirer here. So the question is to David. Okay, David, get ready here. The question now. What from Alice Lim? Okay, what do you think about architecture education? You had being a recent graduate, okay, recent graduate, and if it prepare you for the actual practice, discounting the fact that your father is an architect. So, what is your advice to other students?
First thing is, if your father is an architect, it makes life so much harder for you.
Okay.
And worse is living with your father.
Okay, why is it harder?
So I see my boss every day, 24/7.
Okay. See, your father answer for you. I want you answer it. Okay. Yes, David.
The question was, what was my opinion on architecture?
Your advice.
Oh, okay. I think from my personal experience, it's more about looking at more than what this field is sort of about. So looking at the bigger scope of what we as architects, I suppose, can do, because our society is changing. We have so many more new buildings that we might not even be able to inhabit, and it's also getting more and more expensive to build. So maybe we should be looking at something else. When I was doing my final year in university, so I started in Tasmania. It's a small island in Australia. So what we did was we did an what's it called? We did a sort of urban catalyst study to look at how we could sort of because the state that I was in it's a university state. So basically, it's the university. There's only one university in the whole state. It's small. So we were looking at how we could sort of bring the city and the university closer, to merge it together, and how that will help to generate sort of more jobs and relook at the entire city planning. So we were looking away from designing individual buildings and sort of like niche or unique houses for people, but we're looking at city planning and space regeneration and how to use there was a term it's called urban guerrilla. So sort of it's a very alternative approach in treating spaces. So there were movements like no car day, or sort of rent a park or something like that. So looking at more than what we currently think architects are doing. So maybe you could say we are leaning away from sort of traditional architecture, but on looking at what else can we do as architects? Because I don't think the profession can sustain by just doing commercial work over and over, because if everybody is doing commercial work, and not everybody can afford sort of new houses or sort of buildings, who are you designing for, and what is going to happen to those things that you just built?
All right. Indeed. Thank you, David. I think it is a well explained that. Maybe I can, maybe just a quick one for Girl. She became the most youngest professional architects. You just passed your part 3, I think last year, I can't remember. I'm getting old now. So how you face as a young professional architects, especially at this situation, the recent situation, you as a professional architects, you working with Architect Mike, and then maybe a piece of advice for all the students here.
I think one of the advice is to know where are your goals and what you're pursuing, and achieve your goals and what you want. So just be clear and know what you want to do in your goals, and you are open up to all the different ways and all the different methods of achieving that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Can I make a little correction, Arianta?
Can, sure.
Most of them are not working for me anymore. They are my tauke and tauke neo.
Oh, so now you working with them?
Yeah, no, because I don't believe in master and servant relationship anymore. But mentoring, yes. So all of them are directors of my company. We transfer share to them because now Lembaga allowed 30% share to be owned by non-architect.
Correct.
So all of them are shareholders. So we're all equal. We all have to take very low salary because we've got no much income.
Right. Okay, coming back to you, boy. Sorry. Say again. Finish your words.
Yeah, I think now we prefer to stay small. Then we don't have kind of pressure to think about the salary and the next payment when we're going to get and what.
I agree with you. So, okay, coming back to you, Mike, because there's a question from Fabian's a bit. Yeah, Fabian's. Hello, Architect Mike Boon. How do you define a good design, especially for students like us, when they want to start designing a building? So, any advice from you?
Is this, what's his name again?
Fabian's.
Fabian what?
Fabian Abid.
Not very familiar. I think it's one of the interns from the office, right?
Oh, really? Okay.
I'm gonna knock his head when I see him next time. He's been in my office for months and he doesn't know what to do, and I'm wasting my time.
Okay, maybe you can share to all the students with his question. Yeah, you share this. I think the students have the same typical question from their head.
Now I cannot remember the question after I got upset.
No, how do you define a good design? Yeah, especially for students like all of us here, when they want to start designing a building, how to define as a good design? Any advice?
When most people look at it and can say that it looks right. Yeah, it feels right. It looks right. I don't know. I really don't know. Not until I see one, I can tell you this is, in my opinion, good or bad. But I don't touch. I need to know. You know, when you look at a design, you really have to know where is it coming from. Really understanding what you are doing and where you're coming from. What are you doing it for, and who are you doing it for? So I have no answer because I never satisfy my design. I always hope back that my next project, my next design, I can do better.
Yeah, do better and better. There's one question from Muhammad Oliver. Mike, Muhammad Oliver Ensor. I'm not sure he's from Sarawak or Malaysia. I'm not sure. But this question, he's saying that Mr. Mike, Architect Mike, good sharing. Knowing Architect Mike as a humble architect, this is in my opinion, my experience, he said, sometimes we tend to be proud with our works. There will be a pride, but how do you balance between pride and being humble? How you balance it?
My God, that's the best compliment I've ever heard for a long time. I'm being humble. I just blew my top with my client, especially the client is a local authority 2 days ago. I'm not humble.
You know, you always low profile. Okay.
But I will not be humble when I have a license not to be humble.
Mhm.
So life is a balancing act. I don't know. I really don't know a lot of answer, but it's a struggle for me to be nice to people.
I see. So you have no idea actually.
I really have no idea. So when there's a particular situation come, then maybe I can react to it. But you ask me question to give an answer, I really don't know. But honestly, don't know. So don't get disappointed because I'm not that charming most of the time, you know, when I'm at work.
Yeah, David. Yeah, I mean, when you come to work, you're very serious. Yeah, very serious. Okay. But again, I mean, a lot of people observe this. A lot of people observe sometimes. I mean, personally, to tell you that, you know, it's not about to be humble or to be, you know, low, but we architect, we represent society. We make a space for them. We make a shelter for them. We make a city for them. You know, we creating, you know, as a dream makers, we make society dreams come true. So I mean, that is architects all about. But maybe different opinions of different people. You know. But again, thank you so much, Architect Mike. Yeah, such a lovely evening. That even though you're in Kuching, I'm still in KL now. We are kind of far away. I've been to your house before. Maybe just a quick one. Just flip through to your PC or your notebook to showcase your spaces. If any students, just a few couple minutes. Just a few couple minutes. Maybe students, if you have any chance after MCU, after pandemic, you go to coaching, just give a call for Architect Mike to come and visit his house, because I've been to the house before. It's a very symbolic of the space actually. The way he designed the space, integrated with nature, I can tell you is a kind of an experience. Yeah, there you are. So this is right.
But,
Okay.
but it's the business now.
Mm-hmm.
Let me do this.
First,
okay. I show you the toilet.
Okay.
My favorite space.
Where is it?
Okay, you turn on the light. That is the living space. Room I was sitting there.
Yeah.
So maybe I would turn on the light in the terrace later on. So let's talk about the toilet.
Oh, you want to begin with toilet first, all right?
So the toilet under the stair. It's a toilet that has no windows. It only have 2 slits on both sides. So this is a cooler space.
Yeah.
In the whole house. So when I come in, I play wayang kulit.
Yeah. Okay. That's beautiful. I can see the way you play lightings there, and yeah.
Okay, so what I do, maybe I'll open the window.
Yeah.
So everything is grilled.
Yeah.
But you don't feel that you're being catched in, right? So maybe I take you out to the terrace. Am I walking too fast?
No, it's okay. Yeah, we feel you now. It's like a virtual reality. It's a tour.
You see the women's in my life.
Hi, Cheche. How are you? Okay.
So that's where to lie down and doze off.
Right. Wow. Okay.
So let's go outside.
Right.
Open.
So that's kitchen there, Mike.
Sorry? That's
kitchen. I can see the kitchen there.
We don't design spaces. Actually, this is a counter.
Okay.
Multi-purpose counter. We do our work. You see, my computer is still there.
All right. Okay.
Doing the homework, we make pizza, and when we have friends that go around here, so this is the most used spot in the house. So you're looking back. That's where far end.
Yeah.
That's where I was sitting just now.
Right.
So
kind of open space. Yeah, you get through the natural ventilation from side by side. Yeah, Mike. Yeah. I can see that.
Yes, we don't use aircon a lot, and at
Yeah,
night, sometimes we have to use blanket. It's getting cold.
Right.
There's another point. So that is a space. So it's raining now. You can hear the rain.
Yeah. Oh, it's raining there. Oh,
Yeah,
all right.
there's a pond.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I used to sit down there before.
yes.
All right.
So from inside, actually, this door I can open fully. It's a 12 meters opening. You go to the deck. You're looking at the entrance.
Yeah.
And the pond that we cross with a bridge.
Yeah.
Into an outdoor space, outdoor room.
Wow. Okay.
This is where I sit, and I'm dying to have this.
Okay, Mike.
My sleeping dome.
Okay.
Next to a statue of Buddha, which I'm not a Buddhist, by the way, I have to declare.
Okay.
So the grill can be opened fully. When you look up from the garden, it's like a stage, but it's dark out there. You can't see much, unfortunately.
Yeah. You have your big lawn there, big garden there. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're looking at the house.
Yes.
I think. Yeah. So I have to turn my camera back now.
Wonderful. I think tonight is such a special online series because, as you know, all the students, such a good topic. No idea from Architect Mike Boon, and we have a special guest behind this as well. And then we have a virtual reality tour to one of the architect's house. Yeah, Architect Mike Boon's house in Kuching. So if anybody from Semenanjung, if you got the time to go to Kuching after all this pandemic, do visit Architect Mike Boon if he allow you guys. Yeah, do keep in touch with them. Right. Architect Mike. So, any last word from you, Mike?
I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to give my eulogy, so I don't have my last word.
Okay, maybe a piece of advice to the students.
I really enjoyed the session. So yeah, and I have no pressure because I didn't prepare for my talk very much. I just put the slide together, and I have to read it 50 slides before we start this talk, you see. But hopefully I manage my time still okay. So maybe next time, the opportunity, I would more than happy to share.
Thank you so much, Architect Mike. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Right.
Hang on, I have to do this.
What's that? Yeah, love. I don't know how to do it. Yeah, love. Yeah, just do it. Well, okay, students, viewers, thank you so much, Architect Mike. Such an eye-opening, very interesting and rich sharing. I hope all of you enjoyed and gained a lot of information and knowledge. So until then, hope to see you the next session. I pass the floor to our MC tonight, Zenwi.
Cheers.
Hello. Thank you so much, Architect Arjanta. And also thank you, Architect Mike, for that very interesting, very eye-opening sharing from you. And also the motivations and advices, especially for the students and young architects. So this marks the end of our talk today. Thank you everyone for joining us on today's online sharing session. Thank you so much to our special guest, Architect Mike Boon, for sharing his idea with us. We hope everyone enjoyed it and gained a lot from him. Also, a very big thank you to Architect Arjanta for being the moderator. And last but not least, I would like to thank Pam and ARCHIDEX for giving us the opportunity to have this collaboration in ARCHIDEX Online 2020. Stay tuned for the next webinar on the 17th of October, 11 a.m. as we will be having Mr. Kevin Lowe with his topic Indoctrination. I believe it will be a very interesting session and we hope to see you all there. Do keep in touch and follow us on MASA's Instagram and Facebook for more updates. And do check out ARCHIDEX Online for more interesting webinar sessions. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll catch you next time. Have a good day and bye-bye.
Good night. Be safe, everybody. Bye.